Wow, look at me, all busted up. Yeah, looks like I got in a fight, but I didn't. Just too stupid. Uh, so, I don't know if you guys are familiar with what I do here in the Philippines. I actually do a lot of different types of things. BPO work, and sometimes I talk about work permits and some of the challenges in getting a work permit or working and living here in the Philippines. And I make a lot of videos. I'm making a lot of videos about lifestyle, which has sort of ended up being a lot more like nightlife. There's been a lot of nightlife action going on. Um, is it catching up to me? I think so. Like I said, look at, I'm all busted up. But I think there's a couple of different elements going on. It's summertime here in the Philippines. And summertime usually means travel time. It's super hot, it's super sunny. It's great to hit the beaches. There's almost no rain ever. I want to take a week or two and get back to the beaches. I spent last summer at the beaches. There's a lot of content on my channel about traveling, especially to Boracay or the Catacomb beaches and stuff like that. And people talk about expenses in the Philippines, and I've had a full range of expenses in the Philippines over the years. When I first came to the Philippines in 2012, I was like corporate, working for corporate USA, setting up call centers here. I was getting paid, a U.S. salary, and literally living like a king, like high roll lifestyle, like living in the nicest condos, the nicest schools, the nicest gyms. Corporate paid for dinner in any restaurant I wanted, any night of the week. It was amazing. And I definitely fell in love with the Philippines, not just because the dollar went so much farther, but well, it was a girl. What a surprise. No, through a girl, I got to understand more about the Philippines, the culture here, what they call cultura, and it was just amazing. And then, after about 4 years of traveling here for work, 160 hours a year in the air, 160 hours in the air every year. I said, you know what, why am I doing this anymore? Why am I commuting? I'm getting older. I got less good years ahead of me than behind me, and I love living in the Philippines. So I decided to move to the Philippines. I went through a whole minimalist phase where I sold everything I owned, and I made a bunch of videos about that. They're on the channel, and then I moved here. I basically retired. I did a lot of calculations, a lot of investments, a lot of savings. I figured out how I could make it work. And I also knew that I wasn't going to be living like a high-roller lifestyle here. So when I came back, I'd known enough to be able to shop around. I knew you can get decent condos in decent spots without having to pay, more than $500 a month. I was living in Bonifacio, Global City for the last 3 years, and I was barely paying $500 a month for my condos. Some of the condos were like $400 a month. And I learned to shop in the Palenques here. There's a lot of videos like about shopping in the Palenque and the cost of living stuff. Rather than going to like the market here. Like I went to, I think it's called the Marketplace, the Rustin's Marketplace, in the Venice Grand Canal Mall, which is right around the corner here. And Venice Grand Canal Mall is in Taguig near BGC. So I could go to Venice Grand Canal Mall, I could go to the SM Aura, shop in the SM Supermarket. Doesn't matter. Anytime I go there, I spend like $40, which is like close to 2,000 pesos. Every time I go to the Palenque, I spend like 400 pesos, which is like $7. I went there the other day. I bought a fish, a whole fish that they cut into steaks for me. It was 4 big steaks plus the head and tail. I bought a bunch of tomatoes, onions, garlic, ginger, because I eat all that stuff every day. I only eat whole foods, only eat fresh whole foods now, no processed foods. It's all been keto, so no rice, no bread, Saying hello, Craig and Savannah. Yes. This is my first time live streaming on a phone, actually. My computer's in the shop, which is a real bummer for me, a real impediment. I've never had a Mac computer go down. And if it did, you figure you'd take it to the Mac store, they'd fix it in a day or two, boom, you're done, especially under warranty. Not here. They gotta send that shit to Singapore, and they'll take 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm like dying. Can't work, can't do projects, I can't, research. It's been stuck to the phone. Thanks for saying hi, by the way. If you have any questions about Craigan's, let me know. I haven't been back to the Craigan's here in Manila, and I know I'm sort of bumping all over the place. I was talking about cost of living. Anyway, I went down there. I bought fish and a bunch of vegetables to cook it up with. I spent $9.47, and then that was 4 meals for me. So that broke down to be like $2.40 a meal. What's up? I am keeping well. Thank you for letting me know you enjoy the videos. I got a couple of videos that are uploaded now, so I will publish over the next week or two. If you guys follow the channel, I publish Sunday nights. But I'm falling behind because I don't have the Mac. Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about the Mac, is that it's never needed a backup, but apparently here in Manila, I will need a backup. So cost of living can be insanely cheap. Like, I'm living in this house now. I should probably move this around. Why not? So you can see, like, this is an old school house, right? And it's really big. I have this one room. I'm setting it up right now for a photo studio. That's the green screen. I got like this scaffolding kind of thing that came with the house. I got my lighting kits. I'm moving over in a month, bringing 2 laptops. Yeah, you should probably bring 2 laptops, because when one of them crashes, it'll suck. You need to get it fixed. At this point, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, geez, maybe I should just buy another one. All right, see that beautiful sunshine? So this is bedroom 1, all right, and bathroom. This is like my main space. This is just upstairs. There's a whole nother space, like twice the size of this downstairs. But what I really love about this place is the porch. There's a little sun porch, which I'm sitting on. So you got a roof deck. Here's the roof deck right here, man. It's kind of weird. Oh wait, shit hanging up there. It's this long strip, but at the end of the strip, there's an alcove. So in about an hour or two, this whole long strip will be in the sunlight. That's where I go and I get my sunlight in the morning before I hit the gym. So yeah, I did find the roof deck. It's slightly different than what I had expected, but you know what? It's a great space. And the house, it's just kind of like old school, old style. It's interesting, and it's cheap. Like, did you look for something similar long term? Yeah, so that's what I was going to talk about a little bit, was why did I choose to live here in the barangay as opposed to getting another condo? So, don't get me wrong, unless you're in lockdown, and then condos will be like a nightmare prison box hell, where you won't be allowed any visitors unless they're on your lease, not even your mom or dad, definitely not your girlfriend, unless again she's on your lease. Don't mind me, I was out here the other day and I was working on this thing and I freaking slipped on this gravel and literally just smashed my head against the wall. So, I'm a little scraped up, no face road rash there. Condo lifestyle can be great. You get a pool, you get a gym, you get a nice little condo. But if your condo doesn't have like an aircon inverter on it, you're going to be paying 15 to 20,000 pesos a month for your AC. Unless, of course, your condo has great windows that open up and a great deck. So you're paying what? If you're lucky, you're going to pay $25K a month for your condo. I was paying close to 20. I was paying between 20. I paid 20 for a condo. I paid 23 for a condo. I paid 25 for a condo. That's less than 500 US a month. I pay 20,000 for this 3-bedroom house in the barangay. That's about 400 US dollars a month. My electricity here is between 3,000 and 5,000 pesos a month, depending on the time of year, how much I'm running an aircon. But when I was living in one uptown residences, BDC, that condo, the aircon was like 10, 15,000, sometimes even more a month just to run the AC. Because those condos don't have inverters set up, and it can be a mess. So yeah, I thought the condo was a little over expensive. Like if you don't have the right setup, if you don't have the right inverters for your power systems, that's an investment you're going to need to make, and it's going to cost you a lot in the long run. Is the investment worth it? Yeah, go buy an inverter or two and see if you can get your unit AC plugged into it. But sometimes those ACs are built in, so you can't just buy an inverter and plug it in. You have to have the inverter installed on the unit, and that can be nuts. Other than it's hanging great, man. It's a little hot today, but it is summertime. And I like it hot. It's one of the reasons I moved here. So, condos, yeah, they're safe, they got guards. Sometimes they give you a hassle bringing in your guests, in other words, girls, and sometimes they don't. You always take care of the guards, you walk in, hey, here's a soda, here's a Red Bull, here's a couple candy bars, whatever. Where have I been? Well, I haven't been live streaming, but I have been in the Philippines publishing videos every week. If you check out the channel, and you'll see like a big feed, and it's mostly nightlife and lifestyle now. I haven't traveled since October last year. I'm getting ready for another summer trip. Yeah, what is also great about condos, worth going in August, we should wait for it to cool down. So August is actually the rainy season. It's a little muggy and wet in August. Technically, the last couple of years, like as soon as June hit, it just started raining. So like June, July, August tend to be pretty rainy. But September through February, let's say September through March tend to be not March. March is when summer starts, and February starts getting hot. September through January, it's just beautiful. Not a lot of rain. It definitely cools down. If you're looking to travel, if you want to hit the beaches, I would say wait. But if you're just looking to hang out and party and chill, August could be good. The problem with thank you, the Express, Jacob, all you guys. Aloha. The problem with rainy season here isn't so much that stuff just shuts down. It's that people don't come out. They're like, oh, it's raining, I'm not coming out. I'm like, really? Like literally, the girls just don't come out when it's raining. And when I say girls, I mean like regular girls. Like I'm sure the working girls come out because that's their job, they're working. So, Randy, so thanks for joining. So now living in the Palenque, I call it the Palenque, but it's really the barangay. I live in the barangay next to the Palenque. Walking distance to FTW. I'm not good with acronyms. I'm not a Gen Z or millennial guy. But I did publish a bunch of Tinder feeds on Manila. That wasn't quite Manila After Dark. It was just for channel members. So a lot of times I published videos for channel members only, and I was just scrolling through Tinder for like 10 minutes at a pop, and then I would do like a commentary, oh, lady boy, oh, hottie, oh, no thanks, and I published a lot of that just because guys were interested in seeing what Tinder looks like here. Although during the rainy season, if you're working Tinder, you're going to meet girls, and you can pay for them to have a taxi and come over to your place, and that's just as good as going out and partying. I'm not saying you won't meet people. I'm just saying there'll be less people on the party scene if it's raining. So the barangay's cheap. I live near the Palenque. The Palenque's cheap, unbelievably cheap. I'm buying, whole food, literally organic meals for $2.50 a pop. Granted, I have to prepare them. Do I enjoy it here? Yeah, I do enjoy it here because I just feel like I'm invisible. I mean, it's weird when I walk outside and the people on the street are getting used to me now. They're like, when they first saw me, they're like, "Are you lost?" But and people kind of still stare at me along the strip, but I'm kind of like a novelty, so they're always friendly. They're always friendly. They're always offering me deals. They're cool, and the house is nice. It's just big. It's just big. I got all the space that I could want. And after living in those cramped little condos for so long and having like electric stoves and tiny sinks and barely enough space to like on a table to put your laptop and eat at the same time, it was like you had to clean off the table in order to eat, and then it's not like you had a dedicated workspace. The balconies were small. It depends on where your condo is though, because if you have a condo like right in Poblacion Makati or something like that, meeting girls is that much easier. When I was staying I had to stay in Poblacion for a couple weeks in December, and I had a bunch of channel members here, taking them out every night, wingmanning these guys, meeting girls, and like the weird dynamic about that is like your buddy, like you tell your buddy like, "Yo, who do you like?" And then he's like, "I like that girl." So I go up to that girl and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Derek, nice to meet you. I've been here a while. What's your deal?" Okay. Find out she's not a working girl, and then I kind of brush off the friend. Might give her like a quick acknowledgement or something. But then what I'll do is I'll be like, "Hey, look, let me introduce my bro," and then I bring my bro over, and I kind of like, "Hey, nice to meet you," say hi, and then as soon as they start rapping, I just disappear. And then like I circle back around, and then I work on the friend. I'm not trying. It sounds like I'm a total player and I have a game here. It is a game. There is definitely a system to it. Now sometimes I do the inverse of that, where I'm like, "Which one do you like?" And then I ignore her and I start talking to the friend. And then after a minute, I'll be like, "Oh, hey, look, you know what? I got a bro over here. Let me introduce my bro." And then I kind of go that route. What ends up happening though is I count on at least five times just this last December, where like the bro was like, "Hey man, she's gonna go with me. I scored. Everything's great." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. See you later." And he's like, "Yeah, but she can't leave her friend. You have to stay with her friend, or she'll only go if you go with her friend," kind of thing. And then the girl will be like, "Well, where do you stay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, like my hotel's right down the street." She'd be like, "Let's go." Like that easy. And I'm not even like in the game, not even looking for it, not even interested. And here where I live, you're not going to find that. Like, if I had to tell a girl, I'm like, "Yeah, we need to take a taxi. It's like a 10-minute ride." She might be like, "Yeah, it's okay. I'll just go home." Although there are the barangay girls, and these are the type of girls that you wouldn't meet in bars and clubs. These are the kind of girls that work in the sorry here, or just live in the area, or then maybe they work in one of the call centers and they live here because it's close to the call center. They're totally fluent in English. Even the ones who don't have, I would say, fluency, have enough to totally get by. Like, there have only been a few times in the last 7 years I've been here where I've struggled to communicate with someone, and usually that's like a taxi driver that I snagged in Quezon City or somewhere, or like I was in like Visayas in like a mountaintop or something, Just about everybody speaks English, unlike Thailand. And Google Translate's actually really good with translating in case there's ever an issue. I've once or twice had to do Google Translate conversations here, and mostly because it wasn't because the person couldn't speak English, it was because they were shy to speak English because they didn't think their English was good. So I decided to just kind of come on today and live stream. I didn't really have a super agenda plan, but I am planning a podcast here. I'm getting a co-host together. Pinay co-host is Filipina. She's really cool. She's smart. She's funny. Interesting. Big social media girl. and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We're definitely going to talk about dating. We're definitely going to talk about hookups, because dating and hookups aren't always the same thing. We're going to talk about foreigners, her perspective on foreigners, her guests, her friends' perspectives on foreigners, social issues here in the Philippines, taboos, like very simple things. Like in the Philippines, you don't point at people. Like you'd be like, yeah, man, that girl over there. Like, no, don't point, don't point. It's rude. And I'm like, yeah, but she's a stripper on the stage. What do you expect me to do? Yeah, I'm just joking, I'm joking. Yeah, just I have a whole list of stuff, that I'm going to go through, and unfortunately, those lists are all digital, and they're all on either one of my hard drives or Macs. Because I am hotel for a week, so I am is beautiful. The rooms are really nice. They've got great bars. They have the best roof deck bar in the city on the rooftop. It's called Antidote. They got a couple of restaurant sort of spots and like coffee bars and stuff. It's a perfect location. It's 2 blocks down from Burgos and Calayan. It's a perfect location. And if for some reason you get sick, it's a perfect location for Poblacion nightlife. Whether that's Club Royal, whether that's Filling Station, whether that's After Hours Secret Door, whether that's Buccaneers, whether it's one of the more chill spots, H&J, all within a 3-block walking radius of I Am Hotel. Really comfortable rooms. Yeah, it's a perfect spot. The roof deck is beautiful, but it's expensive. It's probably one of the only few that I would actually call a sky bar. Like if you've been to Thailand sky bars are out of control. And most of Manila's roof deck bars are just roof deck bars. But I Am Hotel's like a sky bar. And if for some reason you get sick of Poblacion and you need a break, you jump in a taxi or a Grab and it's 10 minutes to BGC and you're in Forcetown and it's a totally different vibe, you know. Sort of classy, sort of upscale, no trash on the streets, no beggars, no solicitors, no walkers, all a la carte dining, a little more pricey, but a great ambiance. This time of year, we don't do it as much just because it's hot. It's just always hot. So when they go out, they want to hit the aircon spots and places like that. But I Am Hotel's nice. Thailand, Phuket, Pattaya, and Bangkok. Yeah, if you go to Thailand, I would consider doing like a week in Bangkok and a week in Pattaya or Pattaya. I don't know. And the reason I say that is because, like, I had a buddy that I went to Bangkok with a couple months ago, and we just threw down in the city. And he's like, "You want to go to Pattaya?" He's like, "You want to take a couple days? Let's take a trip down there. Beaches, this, that, the other thing." I'm like, "Are you going?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna stay." I'm like, "Oh, I'm not going." But I got a buddy that lives there, and I set them up a couple weeks ago. Just on Holy Week, he went back to Thailand because Holy Week just sucks here. So once you meet my buddy who lives in Pattaya, you guys go down there and hang out. And he did, and he came back, and I'm like, "How was it?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I guess I'm just not a Pattaya guy." Like, hey, dude. I decided to live stream. I don't know. I think I should do this every week now. I don't have a super agenda planned for today, but eventually I'll put a topic list together. Talking a little bit about Thailand and the Philippines. Anyway, he said, "I'm just not a Pattaya guy." And I'm like, "Why is that?" And he's like, "It's too much like Angeles City on steroids. It's just all bar girl culture." So like, if you're not a beach guy and you're not looking to work bar girls, then Pattaya will not be a good match for you. I know if you're just joining, I look like I'm beat up, but I'm not. I just fell on my ass the other day here. And what else? Bangkok, however, is a different sort of. It's just so big and so industrial, and there's so many options and elements. There's sky bars, there's chill bars, there's pubs, there's restaurants, and that's why I go to Thailand, is for the food. Like, I literally go, I'm like, "Give me 3 plates of cashew chicken," and I spend like $4 for 3 meals, and I just eat like I'm out of control. Food in Thailand is just so damn good. And I'm not talking the international level restaurants. Those are amazing. They're going to be a little more expensive. It's going to be fantastic, but not me, man. I just go and I eat like in holes in the wall on the street, basically, pure like home cooking Thai food. It was easy to meet girls in Thailand, but it wasn't easy to meet super hot girls in Thailand, unless you were going to pay for them, which I don't. I was lucky the first time I went. I had a friend from Manila that was there. They showed us around, introduced us around. Why is it easy to meet girls that aren't necessarily the hottest girls? Well, because most women in Thailand are either pay-to-play types, whether they're professionals or part-timers, or they want a real boyfriend. So if they know you're in Thailand for 2 weeks, they're just not going to give you the time of day because they're like, why am I going to mess with you? You're going to be gone in 2 weeks. Red Horse. I'm going to ask, Thailand girls are more likely to expect money than Philippines. Oh yeah, totally. Absolutely 100%. Not expect, like they'll just tell you straight up. Like, they're like, hey, I like you, I want to go with you. And I'll be like, well, what's your deal? They'll be like, 2,000 baht. They just tell you straight up. Steve. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit up Grand Garden Rooftop. And City Garden Grand Rooftop is really good. It's a big rooftop. It has a great view. They got a decent bar. They got a huge menu. They run buffets there. I recommend across the street though, the I Am Hotel, the Antidote Roof Deck Bar. Expensive, but just beautiful. Yeah, the Thailand girls will come straight up and even if they're on a date, even if they're on Tinder, like they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, we can go out, but 2,000 baht. Like, you gotta pay me if you want me. But there's another contingency of girls there. Like I said, they might be a little chubby, they might not be as cute, but they want to party. So they're like, look, I don't want you to give me any money. I just want to go out. Maybe we're gonna have dinner, buy me a couple of drinks, get some smoke going, and then we'll go from there. And you can have a great time. And the reason why is because your level of competition is just so much higher in Thailand. There's so many more foreigners there. There's so many more young dudes there. There's so many more young buff dudes there. There's even middle-aged mature buff dudes there. There's not a lot of old fat ass, retired nobodies there that are just trying to get by on 80 peso red horses in the Philippines. Filipinos probably are hotter. They definitely speak better English. I actually had trouble in Thailand. I literally would look at these Thai girls and I was like, I cannot tell the difference between you and a Filipina. Except for on occasion, very distinctive features. But, there are tall Thai girls, there are short Thai girls, there are curvy Thai girls, there are skinny Thai girls, there are mini ones, just like in the Philippines. But I do find that maybe the Thai girls tend to look a little more Asian. The Filipinas tend to have more of a Spanish look. I thought about it. I made all those Thai videos and I was like, oh my god, Thailand's amazing. It's slam dunk, fucking baller beats Manila by, 100 times. And elements of the nightlife definitely do, but that doesn't mean that Thailand's a better country or better party town or better vacation destination for you. It just means that it's different. And me, at that point I'd been in the Philippines 6 years straight, and I'd been through 3 years of lockdown, and it was hell. And I was indoctrinated into the Philippines and indoctrinated into their lockdown hell, and I was out of my mental game, and I put on weight, and I was not in a good place, and I was just like, getting out to Thailand's infrastructure is 100 times better. Getting out to Thailand for 2 weeks after being locked down in Manila for 3 years was like Disneyland vacation for me. I was like, oh my god, the malls actually have nose hair trimmers. The malls actually have real clothes. The malls have that's unfair because you can get that stuff here. But there's a million things that you can't get here that you can get in Thailand. You can go buy a washing machine here, but it's not going to be like a GE washing machine. It's going to be like some like plastic tub from like Singapore or something. You know, it's ridiculous how hard it is to get certain goods imported here. The restaurants here in Manila, they're just not, you know, 4 and 5 star restaurants. They're not Michelin quality restaurants. Not that I'm looking for that or that I want that, but you know, even the Thai restaurants here, like there's a couple of Thai restaurants I've featured over the last couple of months in some of the videos I've put up. Those Thai restaurants are pretty good for Manila, and they're cheap. But when you compare it to a Thai restaurant like that on the street, they're now selling dishwashers here, yeah, and they are expensive and hard to install. I had 2 buddies that have had dishwashers put in their condos, but they can't get dishwashing liquid. They have to get that on Amazon. Yeah, Thailand's it's better infrastructure. There's Wi-Fi everywhere. Like I didn't need a SIM the whole time I was there because I would just go to a bar, like I got Wi-Fi, and then I'm on WeChat, and I'm on WhatsApp, and I'm on Viber, and I'm on Telegram. Yes, I use all those apps, not because I need to get rid of the rapid COVID testing. I thought it was mostly gone. I've been checking into hotels for the last 3 months, and no one has ever asked me for a COVID test, and only one. The only one that asked for the damn vaccine card is Red Planet. However, my buddy just checked into Knightsbridge, and he told me that they said they wanted vax status. He's like, I'm not vaxxed, bro. He's like, I can't give you that. How about I just give you a negative test? And they said that would be okay. So I don't think you don't need a vaccine to get into the Philippines. You may need a negative test. No, Sogo doesn't even ask for ID anymore. You literally walk in, you give them 500 pesos, they give you a room key, and you walk up to your room. Yeah. Sogo, there are some Sogos that are drive-in. Like you literally don't even have to go to the desk. You drive in, they open the door, you park your car, you go up to the room. When you're done, you call down, you walk down, the guy that parked the car, you give him your 500 pesos, and you drive away. Like, it is absolutely unbelievable. I don't know what happens if you test positive. I would assume it's going to put the house says they want a rapid test. Yeah, if you don't have the card, they want the test. Or maybe they want both now. I really don't know. When I flew back from Thailand, my paperwork, let's just say my paperwork wasn't updated, so they made me get a PCR test. But all they required was updated paperwork. In other words, that means all your injections. And I call them injections because they certainly aren't what they bill them to be. When you have to change the definition of something to get people to take it, it ain't that. Yeah, well, real estate deal, smart man. Neither's my bro from Jersey, and he's in town right now for a month. He just flew in last week, and he told me he's like, yeah, I don't have any vax paperwork. I don't have anything like that. All they wanted was the negative test. I am on a side street in a barangay, and I don't know how noisy this is because I don't have a mic set up. I don't have shit set up. My Mac's in the shop. I'm just live streaming on my phone, literally for the first time in my life. And yeah, I'm right near the airport. I'm right near McKinley Hills, but I am on the barangay side. Yeah, just a negative test. Yeah, there's a kid on the street. I'm literally right in the heart of the barangay here, which I like. I kind of gave the guys a little tour earlier of the house. I guess I can do that again. Because I was saying, I pay less here than I did for my condo, and it's a 3-bedroom. So This is the room I use. No, I'm in Taguig. Uh, I'm in Taguig, right next to BGC. This is my green screen that I'm setting up. These are my diffusion lights for my photography stuff. There's 3 rooms in this house, 3 bedrooms in the upstairs. Each one of them has a bathroom. They're nothing special, but they're nice. They're tile. They got a bidet. It's not too cramped. I'm sorry, I'm moving the phone around like crazy. 3 bedrooms, 3 rooms. I mean, they're tired old shitty rooms. I can see the roof. It's nothing special. Like my closets. A lot of closet space. But the main open space in the house is really big, and it lets in a lot of light and breeze, which is important. And then there are 3 bedrooms that come off this, but what I really like is the porch. So there's a nice porch here, and it's nothing special. It's tiled, but it walks out to the roof deck, which is a long strip with like a patio at the end. You can't see that here, but you can kind of see that it's a long roof deck. And oh, thank you for sharing the videos. I appreciate that. How much is the rent here for a 3 bedroom, 3 bath? I missed the cannabis comment. Hold on. It's only 400 US a month. It's about 20,000 pesos. Why I need such a big space? Hold on. Because I lived in a condo box for the last 6 years, and it made me crazy, especially during lockdown. And I figured to myself, like, I don't want to deal with the condo rules. I don't want to deal with the condo bullshit. I don't want to pay 15 or 20,000 for electric because I'm running my aircon all the time, and they won't put a converter in on the damn aircon unit. And I pay less for 3 times the space, and I get to live near the blanket. So for me, that's a win. Because I'm sick of also shopping in those BGC supermarkets where I spend a fortune every time I walk in there. But here in the blanket, I just go down there and it's all Whole Foods. So I spend peanuts. Like me and my girlfriend were eating like $9 a day, and that's 3 meals. That's 4 or 5 meals, believe it or not. Like a lot of times we'll cook one day and have enough left over for the next day. So what are the cannabis laws like, and why did I move to the Philippines? Okay, so the cannabis laws here are strict as hell. Up until just this decade, I think the penalty for being caught with cannabis was death. Now it's just going to be imprisonment, which would be almost probably worse than death here. If you've ever seen pictures of Filipino prison. And then what else? Or if you're a foreigner and you get caught with it, they're going to deport you and have you deal with, and you get busted. You probably have to pay a big fine. They probably tell you need to give us 500,000 pesos, and we'll let you go. Or you have to give us 500,000 pesos and we're going to deport you. And then if there were laws back in your country that like, I don't know, maybe you got caught with like a large amount, you get prosecuted. Yes, I am. And still got to talk about what brought me to the Philippines. So keto was rough at first, but it's been a year for me. April was a year. Once I got past the hump, and that first 4 months was the key. You have to be insanely disciplined. And I was lucky enough to have a perfect environment for that. I was living in Boracay. I was swimming every day. I was eating tons of avocados. I got enough fats. That is the key. I was just eating fats, fish, tons of fresh fish, tons of chicken, tons of like avocados and tomatoes and fresh cucumbers, and just cutting up fresh vegetables and tossing it with fish all the time. Coconut curries, delicious and healthy. And I stayed in a calorie deficit. I took protein shakes every day. I wanted to get enough protein. And whenever I craved carbs, I just took more protein. I would make like a protein shake, throw a little coffee powder in it, like even if it was decaf, throw some Splenda or like non-glucose spiking sweetener in it, have a little sweet like coffee, vanilla protein milkshake kind of thing. and that would get me over the carb hump. And now after it's been a year, I almost never crave carbs. Occasionally I'll go out to dinner, I'll have a couple tacos or something, but if you're keeping it under 20 or 30 grams of carbs a day, which is usually about 2 or 3 tacos or a big tortilla or something, you can manage that. I know it's hard to say it's all about discipline, but for me, I got to the point in my life where I've been drinking and eating and not going to the gym and was locked down in my condo and was just working like a dog from home for toxic BPO for years straight. And I would look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, just so unhappy with what I saw. And I'm like, I would rather suffer the pain of discipline than suffer the pain of regret. And I made a choice and I've been able to stick with it. And now I feel fantastic. Like, I lost 14 kilograms. I weigh less than I did when I was in high school. I don't have a gut. I go out dancing with girls and their hands are all over me like I'm something special. I was in a concert in lockdown. I'm in a house now. Can't deal with the rules. Yeah, I was the same way. Absolutely the same way. Couldn't deal with the rules anymore, especially during lockdown. And thank you. Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that I got all scratched up the other day, I know it looks like I was in a fight, but I wasn't. I just got was stupid and fell on my ass here from this ridiculous scaffolding that I tried to set up. The Whole Foods has been the biggest change. Like, yeah, no carbs. There are very, very few carbs. High fats, lots of protein. The biggest change is no sugar. Like, no sugar, no sugar, no sugar. And I don't think I'll ever eat sugar again. The other day I was thinking, man, maybe I would like something sweet, like some pancakes or something. I'm like, you know what? I can make coconut flour pancakes. I can use a non-glucose spiking sugar or syrup. I can use as much butter as I want. You know, it's like there are limitations on it, but you know, being over 50 years old, the pain of regret smacks more than the pain of discipline. Look at these comments here. Do they require car insurance in Manila? Yes, they do. And they have 2 levels of insurance, one which is bullshit, and the other which any foreigner with half a brain would have to get. You just have to get the top level of insurance here, because the laws here are so screwed up. Like, if you crash into somebody and you hurt them, they're simply going to push for you to pay them cash. And they have like this weird thing where it's like, if you break their leg, you have to pay them 100,000 pesos. If they lose a hand, they get 250,000 pesos. I mean, it's like ridiculous. And if you don't have insurance, you'll have to pay that out of pocket. And if you do have insurance, believe it or not, I think you still have to pay it, but the insurance will pay for the damage to the vehicles. I don't really know, it's all hearsay. Yeah. But my buddies that drive here have told me some horror stories. I have another bro, he's mother effing king. Runs a call center here, just bought a fattest BMW I've ever seen. We cruised up to Pampanga last week, and we had this like pool party thing, and I'm like, bro, like, how could you buy a car like this here? Like, aren't you afraid? He's like, dude, he's like, it's gonna get dinged, it's gonna get scratched, it's gonna get jacked. He's like, there's no way around it. He's like, half the time, he's like, I don't even want to drive anymore when I go out. I'm like, you shouldn't, man. You should just get a Grab. Like, we get a Grab. So I'm in Taguig. I'm about a 10-minute walk from Venice Hills, Venice Canal Mall, which is probably about a 13-minute walk from SM Aura, okay? So right next to BGC, which is 5 kilometers from Poblacion Makati. 5 kilometers in a Grab taxi is about 20 minutes. 5 kilometers on a joyride is about 13 minutes. And it'll cost you 86 pesos, plus a tip, 100 pesos. So that's $2 on it for a taxi ride. Grab will probably be twice that or more. So between $4 to $5. So about $1 per kilometer for Grab. And where do you really go in Manila that's anything farther than 4 or 5 kilometers apart? What's a jimny? A jeepney? Yeah, definitely better off taking Grab. Unless you're going to somewhere like Pampanga or Batangas, or you're going up NLEX to Zambales or Angeles or something. Like a lot of times when we go up there, which isn't often. Oh, Suzuki Jeep, yeah. We'll find someone with wheels and we'll just all pile in and go. And then like the guy drives and we pay for gas. Get a lot of cost of living questions here. I live very basically. When it comes to diet food, Grab or taxi, which do I prefer? That's a great question. Depends on where I'm going, what time of day it is. If I can snag a taxi, I'll get a taxi. They're cheaper. Problem with taxis is you could hit 2 or 3 of them. I'll be like, take me to DGC or take me here, and they'll be like 200 pesos. And I'm like, no, put it on the meter, because I know the meter is going to be 110 pesos, and I'll give them a tip, you know. Sometimes I'll just say meter plus 50 or meter plus 20 or whatever, you know, depending on where I'm going. Sometimes you get in a cab and I'll be like BGC and they'll say 500 pesos. I'll laugh. Do I use Lazada? I almost never use Lazada. I don't buy anything here except protein powder and creatine. My girlfriend uses Lazada and Shopee, and there's another one, and they're pretty reliable. Like she actually gets me my my keto peanut butter and my keto sweetener on Lazada, I think, or Shopee. Yeah, there's a huge skin tax here. I was in a taxi the other night. The guy said 500 pesos, and my girlfriend's like, "Screw you." He's like, "No, it's okay. He'll pay for it." It's literally what he said. And I told her immediately as soon as he said it. He's speaking in Tagalog, but I'm like, we're getting out right now. So if it's super late or super early, I'll take a Grab. If it's like, if I'm on P. Burgos and the taxis are driving by, I'll just flag one down. I'll be like, I'm going to BGC, or we're going down to Royal Club or something, you know. And a lot of times at that point, they'll just say, okay, 100 pesos. And even though that's twice what the meter would be, you got like 3 girls with you, they're all wearing heels. What are you going to do? Say, no, honey, you have to walk 3 blocks to Royal in your heels. No, I'm like, just get in a taxi, here's 100 pesos. Yeah, because somebody's usually invited us anyway. Like half the time we're not even paying for the table, more than half the time, or we're just chipping in. That's another big thing we do here to keep our costs low, is we do what the Filipinos call chip in. So, like this just Sunday night, just this past Sunday night, we were at Royal. Didn't plan to go, didn't want to go, but the girls wanted to go, and there were 4 guys going, and they're like, they want to get a VIP couch. I'm like, what? We were just at Royal the last 3 nights in a row. Not again because I'm like a Royal guy or anything, just because people are always inviting you, and or inviting her, really. She gets probably 4 times as many invites as I get. So the VIP table on Sunday night, which is a nice couch, was good for 10 people. I think there were 12 of us, 4 guys. We split the 12K, so it was 3K each. That's what? 20, 40, like $50. I had to pay $50 for a night at a club. We got 3 bottles and all the mixers and food on the table for that. And we had a blast, and we were there till like 3 in the morning. There was a question popped up. How much is something like VIP sections over there in clubs? So I just published a video on this channel just this last Sunday night called Your Ultimate Insider's Guide to Club Royal, and I talk about all the tables and all the prices, what you're going to pay for each table, what you're going to pay, what you're going to get when you pay, all that stuff. So check that video out if you're interested in cost for clubs. It really breaks everything down. Why get a section? In other words, why get a VIP table? Well, that's a great question, and the video talks about that too. I talk about the differences between getting a standing table versus just walking in, paying the cover charge, and roaming in the bar. And you can do all those things. So in some clubs, it does limit you from mingling with other girls in the crowd, but in Royal, it's more just like, hey baby, I got a table, you want a shot? And they come right over, and now the next thing you know, these girls are at your table, they're drinking, they're dancing, they're partying. And just because you're at a table doesn't mean you can't get up and roam. The nice thing about the VIP table is you've got a guard watching it. You can leave your bag there and your coat or whatever. You can leave your bottles on the table, and people aren't going to just be like coming over and drinking. It's like a parking spot, exactly. It's like, and when you're sick of the press, the club, you need a seat, you just want to sit down and make out with some girl, or just have a couple of drinks or chat with your buddy, you can park at the table. It's just like an exclusive little private couch at the club. It's nice. I don't think drinks are watered down, not in Royal. I mean, we usually go for VIP tables and bottle service and stuff, but the other night I had a guy, channel member, he's like, I want to check it out. I'm like, you want to get a standing table? You want to just go check it out? He's like, I don't know, let's check it out first. So 9 times out of 10 when you go there, you have to pay a cover charge if you're a guy. That's 500 pesos, which is about $9, and that's good for 2 drinks, okay? So what I like to do is, well, actually a lot of times they don't even charge me anymore, and a lot of times I get a companion for free. Like I walked in the other night, they just went like this. She said, she did this, put out your hand so you get the stamp. They know I'm always in there. They know I probably have a table, and if not, I'm joining a table, and I just shot that project for the owner of the club, right? So I'm lucky in that sense, but before I was a little more connected, I would have to pay 500 pesos to get in. That's worth 2 drinks, like 2 beers, 2 rum and cokes, 2 vodka sprites, whatever. Since I don't drink soda, I would just go up to the bar. I'd be like, here's my bar ticket. Give me 2 shots of vodka on the rocks in a glass. And they were generous shots. And my buddy, he's like, he wanted the rum and cokes. He's like, just give me both of them right away. He's like, just give me both of them. And now he's like, give me a tall glass. He poured both cokes into the tall glass, both rum and cokes. And he took a sip and he goes, ooh. Like, he's like, that's stiff. I definitely don't think they roll down, water down their drinks. And the main reason for that is because they want you drunk. Because the more drunk you are, the more money you're going to spend. Like, oh God, I look like I got punched, man. That sucks. You see, it's like swollen. Alright, what else you guys want to know? Questions? Thoughts? It's been 52 minutes on the live stream. I'm not super practiced at this. I did not come prepared with an agenda. I just woke up early and I'm like, since I can't really edit and publish videos this week because the Mac's in the shop, how did I find my place? Okay, good question. It took a long time, and I did not use an agent. I tried a couple of agents. I went online to listings. There's a lot of listings, just like anywhere, rental listings and stuff, but those are all through agents. What I did, actually what my girlfriend did, was she went on Facebook Marketplace. We found this house in the Barangay and a couple others that weren't bad on Facebook Marketplace. And the landlords are great. They're like super simple contract. They don't want those, a lot of them want these pre-dated checks. So you have to give them 6 or 12 pre-dated checks if you're a 6-month contract, 12-month contract. If you don't have a checking account here, that's a real pain in the ass. That's why I went with Airbnb for so long, because I could just put it on my US credit card. But because I work here, I had to get a payroll account, so they opened a bank account for me. But this landlord is like, nah. She's like, I want the money on this date, and it has to be cash. I'm like, all right, see you on the 9th of every month. I like that. Don't mind me. Do I work in a call center? I manage call center operations, which basically means yes, I work in a call center. But I mostly work from home now, and because of the whole lockdown nonsense and the forced vaccine, well, what they call vaccines, the forced injections and all that stuff, basically what I told them was I want them to buy me out of my contract. I want to retire, F you. And I had to jump through a million hoops, and get all kinds of medical paperwork that's impossible to get here. And just lucky me, happened to know a girl whose family was like built hospitals. This girl I used to date. Um, I'm trying to keep up with comments, but I'm like, who do I see? Where do I need to go to get this government document? Who do I need to call? What's the deal? And she hooked me up with all the paperwork, and they bought me out of my annual contract. So they're basically paying me now just to live here. I don't need to work, but I still do consultation for BPO online. Where I work from home, basically. I'm trying to figure this phone shit out. Again, I've never really. All right. Yeah, you definitely want a larger place over the box. I mean, unless you're a minimalist, and unless you're just out here for a year or two, just get a small condo, enjoy the pool, the gym. You know, it's right in BGC, it's right in Makati, it's super convenient. But if you've been here 5, 6, 7 years like me, you can't live in a small box that long. Maybe you can, I can't. Ever been to a water park? Never been to one. They look pretty good. Although they also look like half the exhibits are closed every time you want to go. What's the call center? It was, I've worked in a couple over the years. I ran one for the United States when I was traveling here for business, which is more like a data center and just straight up customer service for publishing. But then the reason after I retired here was because I got an opportunity to work in a Google call center. I always wanted to work for Google. After learning about YouTube and getting to go to like YouTube conferences and Google offices in the States, I was like, this is the bomb. But then I realized I'm too old for Google. My demographic doesn't really fit their profile. They don't want experienced guys like me. They want millennial types that are coming straight out of certain colleges. But not here in the Philippines. Here in the Philippines, they have Filipinos processing their work. So I was running a project, quality control for a project called CX Labs, which was brilliant. Gave me so much insight into back-end Google, marketing, SEO, SEM, Google tools for managing your businesses, Google tools for targeting your ad campaigns, whether that's geo elements or phone-only campaigns, just like so many incredible tools on the back end of Google. We would interview high-spend advertisers and look at innovations that Google was looking to put into their back-end ad management process. Learn a lot about the AI that they use to determine whether or not which ads are serving best, how they compose their ads, that kind of thing. Then, of course, Google transferred that to what they call GOC, which is Google Operations Center, which was a new startup company here that didn't support foreign work permits. So they had me stay with the BPO I was working with, switched me over to YouTube TV, and then I ran quality control and customer CSAT for YouTube TV for a year, and that was just a toxic nightmare. It was insane, absolutely insane. 246 people. I don't want to talk shit about it. They tried to be good to me. And then from there, it led me to backend. And backend was all data, which is more my speed. I was a database administrator. I worked in analytics and data science for a long time. And then years and years and years before that, it was call centers in the U.S., just straight up customer service, where I mostly supported sales. Sales would say, oh, we screwed up this guy's ad. We need to pay out on a claim. So I would negotiate claim settlements and stuff like that. Call centers are not easy here. Even the good ones are toxic. The rules, the HR rules here, I would say half of their policies would be considered illegal in the United States. Absolutely, just straight up illegal. All right, guys, it's been an hour. I've been rapping straight for an hour. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for your comments. Just a couple of quick recaps. Yes, I am on keto still. It's been a year on keto. I got a couple of videos up from last summer about being on keto, about the diet that I've been on, about how I've been doing that, how I lost 14 kilograms, and managed to keep it on. The latest video, which is called Your Ultimate Insider's Guide to Club Royal, which will talk about basically, anything you need to know about how much you're going to spend and what you're going to get for it at Club Royal. And we'll show you what it's like inside a club. I watched the frickin' video the other day. Some guy was like, clubs in the Philippines are amazing, and it had like a lot of views. And I watched it and I was like, wow, this is an AI video. Like, not one of the B-roll cuts from any of the videos he showed. He was like, Club Xylo is, this wonderful thing in beach, like whatever it says on Wikipedia about Club Xylo was like what his voiceover said, and all of the B-roll was just like stock images from nightclubs. And I just left a comment. I'm like, well, your video was somewhat accurate in what you indicated, but this isn't really accurate, and this isn't really accurate, and not one video clip in your entire video was one of these clubs. When you watch my videos, there's no B-roll that is stock photography. It is all straight out of the club, straight out of Compton. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm going to keep the live streams up on public YouTube, or if I'm just going to keep them unlisted and throw them in a, what do we call that? In a playlist or something. I don't know how well they'll do, how popular they'll be. I tend to have them be a little more structured in the future, and I'm going to eventually morph them into a podcast where I'll have a co-host, and I think that'll be more interesting. So it's been an hour. Guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for listening. Appreciate your support, watching the videos, commenting on the videos. Seen a couple of you guys in the feed that I'm familiar with over the years, and I just appreciate all that. Not even gonna give you the hard sell to look at joining the channel as a member, although you can, and there's tons of extra content. Today is, I think, Wednesday morning in the Philippines. It was Wednesday 8 a.m. when I started, and I think I'm going to shoot for Wednesday 8 a.m. next week. And please feel free to join in. Maybe I'll post on my Instagram, there's like live stream coming up, and on the Facebook, live stream 8 a.m. I try not to be that social media guy. I just make videos. But it's still been a revenue stream, so I'm still working it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining. Message me if you have any comments, questions. I gotta figure out how to turn this thing off.